I feel like
I feel like that sigh is like the millennial pause. You know what they be saying? I'm sorry.
I just want to talk a little bit about like what feels like third puberty.
The things that bothered me 5 years ago are not the things that bother me now.
I'm tired of going to work. I'm tired of feeding myself. I'm tired of cleaning. I'm tired of washing the clothes. And I'm sorry to complain.
There's no problem being inside, but it creates a lot of delusion.
Did my sister just call me delusional?
Not fully. I don't know. Would we schedule our time to go out to eat?
No.
I don't think so.
This is Sistas Declassified, the podcast where
Taylor
and Taryn,
your virtual sisters, share experiences, insights, and of course the juicy secrets that never leave the sister circle.
So shh, listen up. The Declassified convos are starting now. Welcome back to Sistas Declassified. We're the real life sisters who decided to start a podcast instead of going for drinks.
But before we get started, don't forget to subscribe so you can get your weekly dose of declassified moments.
So proud.
Anyway.
I feel like we haven't done a little check-in in a little while. How was your
week? Like that sigh is like the millennial pause. You know what they be saying? I'm sorry.
Did you just... Anyways. Yes, I agree. It is a deep existential cry. Sigh. We cry. It's a sigh and a cry. We do both those things.
Mm-hmm.
You don't participate
in the sigh and the cry?
Are you? No. You're not a zillennial. You're definitely a millennial.
I think I'm the last year of millennials.
Mm-hmm. So you don't understand?
I think no. I definitely understand. I was just realizing, like, I don't know. I saw Kiki Palmer talking about the millennial
my Virgo sister.
The millennial Zoom. I guess we like Zoom in.
We do.
But like, what does that even mean?
Like when we produce content, you mean?
Yeah. We zoom in.
Yeah.
Oh, like, I will say, like I do remember being like, hey.
Like, yeah. And when you film your own little selfie videos, you got a little.
Mm-hmm. It's cute.
It's millennial of you.
That's really they're haters. Gen Zs are haters. But
are they? Because you just asked me about a millennial.
No, I was just thinking about it because I'm like, do we do that? And so I heard you do it, and I was like, all right.
Anyways, I was trying to ask you how your week was going, how your week went, since we haven't checked in since we went to your birthday brunch.
My week's been pretty busy because I took a day off last week. Actually, I took 2 days off last week.
For your birthday? Nice.
Well, no, 1 day for my birthday. The other day I didn't feel good. But anyway, so I had a lot of work to do. I had a lot of assessments still to do because it's the start of the year. So yay, assessments. But I only have 2 more. Yay, almost done.
Paperwork, exciting. Adulting.
Yeah, and aside from that, I've just been trying to get my 10,000 steps every day. Yesterday I got 13,000. So I was like, all right, we're doing it.
I'm sure that's at least 10,000 more than me.
That's a lot. But that's okay. But yeah, I've been trying to get 10,000 steps, and I've also been trying to do arm exercises every day for this month. So We'll see how it goes. I'll keep y'all posted. Join me if you want to. So arm exercises. What am I doing? Flies? Something. And then what's this one? Rows. They were calling it Superman, but like you hold one weight and you lift it. You know?
Girl, they can't not hear you in your mic.
Okay, sorry. You hold. Anyway, you get the idea. I'm no fitness coach.
And if they're just listening to this, they are very confused. But it's okay.
No, I was saying what they're called. Flies and rows. Yeah, all that good stuff. But anyway, so if you want to join me on my journey, do some exercises every day for the month.
Okay, I would like to join. Send me your list.
I will send you the list.
I could do that. I could do a little something every day.
But anyway,
I don't know if I can get those steps, but I can do.
You could get the steps.
Curl these arms.
Once you realize, like, wow, I really sat here for 4 hours. You're like, okay, I could spend an hour getting steps.
Fair.
It's good to have a visual. Like, how do I actually spend my time?
That's true. For me, it really depends on. Oh,
the power went out.
That's okay. Should we keep going?
Yep. It's bright enough, I think.
We'll keep going. For me, it kind of just depends on my. Is it back on? No, who's this man coming to the door?
Just
too
much
going
going
on.
We're fine. Anyway.
Oh, I know we're fine. It's just funny.
What were you saying though?
My week is kind of like the power right now. It was very unstable, very inconsistent. I spent most of it at home. If I wasn't at doctor's appointments, I'm fine. But I just had many appointments and got poked and prodded, and just, it wasn't my week. It wasn't my week. And in weeks like this, I'm usually also on my period. I'm just a lot more like reflective. Sometimes it's a good thing, sometimes not so good. But anyway, this week I was really just thinking about like this saying I heard when I was in my 20s that I think still kind of applies today. And it'll get to my declassified moment for today. But I was told that your 30s are like your 20s, but with money. And I'm still waiting for a little more of that money part to kick in.
Says a girl who just got a promotion.
I said a little bit more of the money. But I was just like really thinking about how like there were just so many things in my 20s that I used to worry about that now I don't care about at all. And that have been replaced by like bigger, scarier like goals and dreams and fears. And I just want to talk a little bit about like what feels like third puberty. I feel like I went from middle school, high school, puberty, you know, the regular stage we're all used to, body changes, hormone changes. And then there's like your second puberty in your 20s where you're reaching adulthood. You're finding yourself, you're really like deciding where you want to be and who you want to be. And it kind of feels permanent. And then you get to your 30s and it's like, oh, all of that mattered. There were lots of lessons, but damn, there's a lot of stuff ahead that I still got to work towards, look forward to, avoid. I thought I did it already.
Right. And I feel like there's like more you want to avoid now than when you're in your 20s.
Yeah. I'm definitely way more risk averse now than I was when I was younger, which in some ways has served me, but in other ways I'm sure I've lost out on opportunities as well.
Because it's like there's a risk management kind of thing going on where you have too much to lose if you pivot or if you decide, oh, I've just spent the last 10 years in this career and now I want to do something different. Like that's risky. And before you might have quit your job every month when you were 20 and been like, it's fine. I'm going to go do, I don't know, XYZ.
Whatever.
Like,
right. My friend works at Radio Shack. I'm dating myself, but but yes, totally agree. I feel like it's just, there was a point where I was working 4 different jobs because I couldn't decide. It just seemed fun to do all of them. What? Like, just a different life. And maybe there are people in their 30s who live that way now, right? It's all about perspective and everybody has their own preferences. But for me, it's just been interesting to kind of go through this third puberty after feeling like I thought I had it a little figured out and learning there's so much more to life. And so that brings me to my declassified moment for today, which is, turns out my 30s brought a whole new awakening. Just when I thought I knew myself, here I am growing all over again. It's ridiculous.
I know, it's awful.
I mean, I guess
actually, no.
It beats the alternative, right? But I just want us to get into it today because I feel like we're probably not the only ones experiencing this. And I don't know, maybe you can speak to it yourself.
I feel actually kind of happier in this space because I feel like before it was a lot more of like looking down on the fact that I'm not where I want to be. And now it's more like, yay, I get to go where I want to be.
So you feel like as you approach your 30s, you're feeling more agency in your life, or like you have more power?
I think it's that idea of like needing the external validation before, and now it's like I can validate myself internally and I don't have to look for outwards acceptance for what I'm doing. And so now it's just like, yay, I get to go and I get to do these things and I want to grow and that's fine. And I don't care who's looking and I don't, you know.
The side eyes, the judgment, all good.
Basically. So it's like now in your 30s, it's like, yay, when you have a new goal, it's exciting and you want to see yourself achieve it, which obviously when I was in my 20s and I'm still in my 20s, I'm 29. So I don't know. I lost my train of thought because I'm like, anyway. What was I saying?
I don't know about
I guess basically what I'm trying to say is that the things that bothered me 5 years ago are not the things that bother me now. And I was always seeking to be seen a certain way, maybe. And so then that would impact the choices that I was making. And so now it's like, yay, I have a new goal and that's fine. I can go do that. Nobody even needs to know I have that goal.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not of like how people say move in silence, because it's not even like that. It's just like,
it's not a secret.
Yeah. Because I had no problem sharing before. I don't feel like anyone around me is a hater. So I think that's why people feel like they have to move in silence.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I just feel like there's just a different feeling inside of like, I can do these things and be proud of it and be excited on the journey.
Yeah, I can definitely relate to that. And there are areas where I feel this more than others. Like, I never really felt like I needed to wear makeup to leave the house, but I probably felt more self-conscious about it in my 20s than I do now.
Mm-hmm.
That may also, there may also be the factor that I'm married now versus I wasn't for most of my 20s. So I'm sure that matters to me at some point as well.
Mm-hmm.
But I definitely still struggle with wanting external validation, but like the areas in which I care about them have shifted for sure.
Mm-hmm.
But I definitely feel like in terms of myself and my body, I'm way less self-conscious about myself than I used to be in my 20s. And now I go and look at my 20-year-old self and I'm like, you thought you were ugly? You thought you were fat? Girl? Girl. You, if only you knew how cute you were.
Definitely. Well, although I had an alternate experience because I was kind of heavy back then. And I've lost a decent amount of weight and still would like to lose a little more. So that's something that I still work on. But I definitely think about it differently.
Yeah. And I will say I also think about just like body image differently.
Mm-hmm.
And that like I feel more confident in myself as a person. So how I look externally to people matters to me less.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas back in the day, I felt a way about my body. And so now I can kind of objectively look at it and be like, I see where you were coming from, but you were off.
Right.
And also, wow, that doesn't matter.
Right.
You know?
But also I think knowing what looks good on you and not always following what everyone else is wearing at that time helps a lot. So it's like not going with the trend just because you see your bestie doing it or you see the girls online.
All my friends shopping at Abercrombie knowing that those little pants do not fit my shape.
Exactly. And then you look a mess because your clothes just don't fit. Like you looked a mess in your 20s.
All because you were trying to fit in.
Yeah.
Like, girl, put the halter down.
Your boobs are big. I'm sorry. But yeah, I think those things really impact you. But now it's like, okay, I know what looks okay on me, so I can wear it and be proud of that.
Yeah. I would also say outside of looks, I think I still want to be liked. I think that's normal. I think most people want to be accepted. But I used to like want to communicate to be liked, and now I communicate to be understood. So you don't really have to agree with me or like what I'm saying, but you at least hear my perspective or you understand what I feel or what I'm trying to say or what, whatever the statement is I'm trying to make. And that matters to me more than making sure that what I'm communicating is being received well or like that they're going to like what I have to say or what I think.
Right. I definitely understand that. And I'm like, on the flip side of like, I think I was trying to make sure everybody did the right thing. So I was like trying to over advise maybe when people weren't asking. So in my 30s, it's like, I'm not giving out advice for free. And if you didn't ask me, then I'm not going to say nothing.
She said they pay me to give advice.
That is a fact. But either way, that's just where I had to grow in my self-awareness of like, everybody's on their own journey and I don't need to invoke my perspective onto that path because that's not for me to do.
I feel that I'm also very much guilty of that as well. So, same.
And I would say I saw likability as making sure that you looked out for people and being really honest. So if I had an alternative perspective, I was like, oh, You need to know.
You need to know because 911 risk.
SOS. But anyways, that's no longer my MO. So that's something that's changed in my 30s, more self-focused.
So earlier you mentioned being excited about some of the new things or new priorities on the horizon, and I'm curious to hear about them because me personally, not that I'm surprised by my third period, my third puberty, it definitely has shaking things up a bit for me lately. But I'm like curious to know what you're excited about or what you're looking forward to, because I still feel like a grown teenager. Like some of the things that I'm responsible for, I'm like looking for the adult in the room because it can't be me. So like, talk to me about the things you're excited about.
I don't know. I guess I'm excited about trying to, like, these are random things, but like buy a car without my parents coming. Because the last time I bought a car, my mom was there with me buying the car.
Same.
And so I'm excited for that opportunity to do that and grow. I also want to like look into buying a house, which obviously I'm not ready for that, but I need to really know what that means and what steps to take. So that's exciting. And like doing home maintenance and stuff. Those things seem exciting to me, even though I don't know how to do them. But it does make me still feel like a grown teenager, I would say, because it's like these are just things I don't know how to do. So I'm still walking into new places all the time, feeling like the not smartest in the room. In those aspects of like adulting. Yeah, I feel like the main things that we thought of as adulting, I haven't fully done yet. Like, yes, I don't live with my mom. I live on my own. And I've like bought a car, but my mom was there. I haven't had children yet. I haven't gotten married yet. So like those are the things that, I don't know, you've kind of
check off in the American dream list.
Yeah. But I think now the areas that you're in, I feel like are kind of similar, but you are married. So maybe there's things that make you feel like grown teenager in that area.
I mean, I still every birthday think, wow, I beat teen pregnancy and I'm 33. So I think some of it is just like my skewed perspective on myself and my abilities in the world. That's why I'm in therapy. Go to therapy, people. It's great. It's been great. But I think you are just a little bit more confident in yourself, and you're less risk averse than me. And so these things are exciting in certain areas. And so these things are exciting to you, whereas I'm like, ugh, if somebody could do this for me, hop to it. Thank you.
Don't get me wrong, I would love for somebody to do it for me, because who doesn't want someone to do all this stuff for
it's just not reality.
And
I know that. I know that. I handle my business, people. I do. But I just also complain.
But I will say even basics like I like to cook and stuff, but when you have to do it in this routine of get up, go to work, feed yourself all day, listen.
Yeah, and I think that's some of it. And when I'm talking about this third puberty, that's part of it. I think there was excitement in my 20s to do all of these things, like to start taking care of myself more, to pay some of these big bills, to make decisions about these things. And after doing it, really, seriously, for only like 3 years. But after doing it for the last, let's say 10 years, right? Because I'm 33. So let's say for the last 10 years, really like going to work every day, paying for some things. I'm like, is this it? I'm over it. So I got to figure out how to flip this, put this down, flip it and reverse it. Cause right now I'm tired of going to work. I'm tired of feeding myself. I'm tired of cleaning. I'm tired of washing the clothes. And I'm sorry to complain. Like, I know everybody has to do these things.
Somebody feels that way.
Right. Like, I'm sure somebody out there feels that too. I think, like, there are also positives in my life. I don't want to just sound like a Debbie Downer. But I think I thought there was more to it. And then I realized, oh, you have to do the more to it.
You create the life.
You create the life. And we talked about this with, like, creating those third spaces and creating connections and relationships with people. Like, it all comes back to self and like you doing the work. But I think I thought more of it would come naturally with age, when it only comes with work.
Right. And maybe like thinking about everything as work.
Right. And that even that perspective is one that could make it more challenging.
Because got to see some things as fun or something you get to do or enjoy. Because then, yeah, you will always feel like a grown teenager.
Mm-hmm.
But I think also reshaping your perspective on what adulting actually means.
Yeah. I remember when I first started at my current company, and I guess it's really working anywhere, but specifically at my current company because I work in the education space, I was just amazed at how differently different adults could live and still work in the same place.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I expected to be surrounded by more people who are like me, and that was not the case at all. And that was like really fascinating to me from like a sociological standpoint to just see like, I could never do that. But you do it. And you're a person. You're an adult with a job.
Yeah.
And
every
that's
day
crazy.
doesn't have to be the same. You can make different choices all the time. Like, I think people forget that life is a series of choices.
Mm-hmm.
From the moment you open your eyes to you close them, even when you decide to do those things,
Mm-hmm.
are all choices. So once you decide what you want, right, then you got to make a choice every minute to get it.
Yeah. But I think I don't know that everyone is super intentional with
Mm-hmm.
those choices. I think some people just move, and that's not really how I operate. And so I think for a long time, I made assumptions about how people moved because I assumed there was intention and not just desire or like impulse
or greed
or
whatever,
right, or other emotions aside from intention.
Mm-hmm. Or good intention
or good intention,
Mm-hmm.
right? Practical intention, logical, whatever. So it's just been interesting.
So welcome to reality, girl.
I know, it's like I just woke up. I just woke up again.
It's because you spent all your time in a gym.
Yeah.
And with people who also spent all their time in a gym, I think.
I spent my time with people who are the same as me.
Yeah, you guys were all just, I mean, training to be a gymnast is very hard.
Yeah.
And you spent 8 hours, not 8 hours, but like, what? Well, how many hours did your practice? 4?
Yeah.
4 hours every day with the same people after school until you were 21, 22.
Right.
So, I mean, yeah, that
was 10 years ago.
That blocks a lot of perspective.
Yeah, I just feel like there's been so much change in life, and I'm not unique, right? I'm sure everybody's had a lot of changes, and especially post COVID, there's still so much change going on in the world, and even today.
But some people be outside, right? And
they
some people
do
be inside.
Inside.
So anyway,
I like it in there,
and that's okay. There's no problem being inside, but it creates a lot of delusion.
Did my sister just call me delusional?
Not fully. No. It's valid how you would see that, like, oh, people live different lives than me.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
So, anyway.
Right. So I guess selfishly, I said all this to say, I want to hear from y'all. Anybody else experiencing this second or third, fourth puberty out there? Because I can't be alone. Maybe this is normal. Like through the decades, you have different focuses, different shifts, and that's normal, I suppose.
Different desires, different feelings.
Yeah, a different life. I would like to live a different life than I lived in my 20s, and I think I like just realized that, and now I'm fighting against my old self to make my new self in a way that my 20s didn't require. Like the things I wanted before, the old Taryn would suffice, and now the things I want, I need a new Taryn.
Who can relate?
Great.
Who can relate? And no, I get that. I think sometimes we need a new us every day. So I don't know. Let us know if that's something that you could relate to. And if you're trying to show up differently, what does that look like to you?
Is that our Sister Circle question for today? It is. There it is.
Okay.
She's sick of me.
Well, anyways, we want to thank you guys for watching today. We are going to wrap it up. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and we'll see you next time.
Bye.